back. We are the Flex, the only place we can get your sports how you want it, when you need it, in our home. By God, if you ever forget it. Fox Sports 1340 AM, Hopewell. I'm your host, your beloved host, Mikkel Ramos. And, this is a glorious time for me. This is a glorious day, I was sick last week, so I couldn't make it. But I'm back. Did you miss me? Varnell Hill voice. Varnell Hill voice for all you Martin people. I missed you.
Did you?
Oh, fellas.
All right, Tommy Davidson.
You know how long I've been waiting to get in front of this microphone? I was sick as a dog. I was trying all different types of ways to get in front of the mirror and say, how you want your sports? It wasn't coming out.
Ooh.
What happened?
Me.
Well, you got to take a pause for the cause,
I'm back. Pause for the cause. Took a break. I missed you guys. Anyways, usual suspects back in the house with us tonight. Roger D. Cravante, Byron. Dre, hello.
Hey.
What it do?
I'm Mikkel. And for the record, Kobe would have did the show.
Ooh. No, wait a minute.
Below the belt.
I mean,
below the belt.
It was.
And then,
it was what it was.
I will work on leaving the light skin jokes to a minimum today.
I mean,
because you're as golden as they come with your chain.
I mean, guys.
Apropos.
Hey, guys, what is he looking like over there?
Stepperless.
Thank you.
Dre, you held down the fort, my brother. Always a pleasure. Thank you. And I hate to say in my absence, because it's me, but you did awesome, bro.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome. And I appreciate you. Good to have you back.
Woo! Jesus Christ, there should be some bells. There is a bell. Where is it? It's gone.
No, it's
Right
there.
there.
We need
reach
it.
it.
I
It's
can't
right
see
there.
it.
You're just short.
Oh, man. I'm here, America. I'm back. Anyways.
Yes, you're back.
Special guest of the evening. Mr. Tavon Mason. First of all, Baltimore man.
Yep.
New York Jet. All these. Tavon Mason loves the Kids Foundation, doing great things in the community, not just using his name for Nike, but using his name to give kids slippers.
Which isn't the worst thing in the world.
Not even at $300 million. I think, put the little check on the slipper. Right. Tavon, you're not a stranger to me.
No.
You're not a stranger to radio. You are a stranger to us. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's roll.
You sure?
He's ready.
Let's do it.
This gets a little crazy. You know I'm crazy.
Let's do it. I can see the energy.
All right, anyway. We would like you to go on our Facebook page, The Flex Zone. Follow us and comment on Twitter and Instagram at The Flex Zone 1. If you have any questions, ideas, or want to possibly be a guest, please go to theflexzone1@gmail.com. And email us and subscribe to that YouTube channel tonight. Switching up a bit tonight. We got to talk about the NBA playoffs. We got to talk about the NHL playoffs. But first, going to start with some Scandal, people. If you like watching Scandal. But I don't think Olivia was on this one.
Oh, man.
On this episode. I don't think you
No,
saw
Olivia?
Gosh.
Speaking of Olivia, how you say Yukum? I never mess up his name. Yukamura.
Nakamura.
Yeah, because he's definitely knocking Kerry Washington up, and they're definitely having all these.
Naniasawa.
That's not his name. Oh, not Michael.
But he's knocking her.
Not gonna do it.
Oh, no, he's winning, my brother.
He's
He's
winning.
definitely winning.
Despite all of his mishaps with Philadelphia, that
yeah.
man is winning.
What?
He don't got to work no more. What he working for?
Yeah, he got a wife that's
Oh,
working.
I'm just going to the Golden Globes.
Stay at home dad. Do it.
Look,
Hey,
Cavante, she's working.
You go do that. I chill. Let me drive the Phantom.
There we go.
But Scandal, people. Baylor. Now, if you missed what's going on here, news surfacing of numerous sexual assaults over the past few years. While the team has been a success over the last couple of years, not only establishing itself as a powerhouse in the Big 12, but establishing itself as a contender year in and year out for the college football championship. While all that's been a brewing successfully, you know what else has been a brewing? Scandal. Because guess what? For years, numerous players have been accused of sexually assaulting women, and during this time, it's been swept under the rug. Not here. They don't want to talk about it. If you missed what happened, in September, Baylor hired Philadelphia law firm Pepper Hamilton to conduct an independent external study into the school's handling of alleged sexual violence incidents. This after their defensive end ended up being convicted of sexually assaulting a former Baylor soccer player. 180 days of jail he was fined, and 10 years probation. He was released 2 months later on $100,000 appeal bond. 8 months after that study I just told you about, the results of the finding of the investigation presented to Baylor's Board of Regents ended up in your boy, Art Browse. Fired, gone, Trump voice.
You're fired.
You're fired. What's going on in Baylor? Gentlemen, anybody?
I mean, this is when the rug has so much dirt under it, and it just looks bumpy, and it doesn't look like how it's supposed to look.
It's a rocky road, apparently.
It's a rocky rug right now, and you can't hide it no more. It's too much dirt under there. You can't sweep everything under the rug. And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, it's not to the same extent of what happened in Penn State, but it's kind of in the same boat because the head guy's gonna fall. The head guy's gonna fall every time because either it's you knew what was going on and you decided to look the other way, or you didn't know, which is just as bad because you're supposed to be in charge of these kids who, you know what I'm saying, you took from their homes and told their parents that you would take care of them and all that, and this is still happening. You know what I'm saying?
Tavon, you're a guest. So, first question goes to you. Crevante here mentioned Penn State. It's not to the biggest as far as comparisons going there, but at the same time, scandals in college football, legendary teams, legendary programs, it doesn't go too well. Why is it a continuance? Why not nip it in the bud? Baylor had a chance to nip it in the bud. At some point, Penn State had a chance to nip it in the bud. Why not nip all these things in the bud before they become this public thing, and now you've just tarnished it all?
It was nipped in the bud. It just that bud regrew. If you think about it, it was silent for how long? For a while until, like you said, that bump. Like after a while, somebody's going to speak up. When you have something, an entity that's driven by sports, and after a while, you're going to get somebody that's going to way going to take their own road, their exit, and say, well, I don't care if it's sports or whatever it is that drives this machine. Something needs to happen, and, like I said, the coach got taken out. You know what I mean? Regardless, he can claim that he didn't know. You know what's going down, especially when you in a southern area which prides itself on that sport. At football or whatever it does is based around the sport. Then everything else comes, and it so happened that it just kept brewing, and you get that one star you want to say that just boom.
Everybody's singing it wasn't me like Shaggy, but somebody knew something, right?
Yeah, they know because nobody wanted.
You was in every room, but it wasn't me.
Right. They don't want to take that brunt of that problem. But you think about it, stuff like that's been given to us in movies through the years, the program, things like that. But a lot of stuff we don't really take it full circle until it like boom. But like these old movies have been telling about the whole outlook on how sports are, and when you, like you said, when you can tell like, well, I got him, and he don't have to worry about anything. I take care of everything. And a lot of these powerhouse schools are going to sweep it until eventually somebody has to pay the price.
Byron, what's more important? Okay, so Art Browse gets fired. School was paying, but he was $6 million, but he deserved $6 million. This man been head of them since 2008. If it wasn't for his high potent offense, Baylor would not be here. 77th Heisman Trophy winner that was Robert Griffin III.
Right.
Would be.
Don't you disrespect. Let me look at you.
Not in this light.
He was still
in
Rodgers.
college. He was the man.
Don't you disrespect the man that was Robert Griffin III, the man that happened to be.
No, he still is Robert Griffin III, the man who was RG3.
Because he's Whoopi.
The artist formerly known as RG3. What would his name be? What, Tumbleweed after Cleveland, right?
Wait, give him a chance.
I'm not so sure he'll flop.
Just
Robert.
Please,
Give him a chance.
please let him be
Robert.
unchained to Django, please. Anyways, 77th Heisman Trophy winner and the man that was Robert Griffin III. However, he must pay the price. What's more important, those items or the fact that this was scraped under the rug and somebody got to pay?
Unfortunately, like Tavon said, Crevante said, when you're the guy in a situation, the head coach of a powerhouse football team, when you think of college football, you have your Alabamas, Michigans, you got to think about Baylor. Everything's bigger in Texas, and apparently so is the controversy and the cover-up as well.
Well, what's not a scandal is the fact that we got to take a break. I know it's pretty quickly, but we got to take a break. After the break, some hockey Some little different on this show. Some NHL.
Score.
We had some finals action. I don't know if you really were paying attention to these ones, but we got some finals actions in the NHL. We'll be back. This is the Flex Zone. We'll be right back. And we're back. We weren't missing that long. And again, just in case you don't remember, I don't know how you wouldn't, this is the Flex Zone, where you can get your sports how you want it when you need it on Fox Sports 1340 AM Hopewell. Okay, back into this thing. NHL. They're also having their Stanley Cup final. I do not know to what degree they've been overshadowed by what will become the NBA Finals and what was Game 7 the other night, which we will get into pretty soon. However, they're in full attendance out there. A big battle. Little known fact. You know, Cravante, you're normally known for the fact, but some things that, hey, with the thumbs up. And but there's something I found. The Bay Area is the ninth market to have an NBA and NHL team in the finals in the same year. Tell me where to go.
Tell me where to go.
E40. Ew. Stanley Cup Finals underway. As you all know, Pittsburgh Penguins, San Jose Sharks. Game 1 yesterday, to be exact. I wish we could get the ratings on that.
It was a 2.0.
It was 2.8.
Can we get the ratings on the Game 7?
2.8. NHL?
No, Game 7.
Oh, Game 7, 11.5.
Gosh, dog. The margin was...
Well, the best game was the NHL game.
Okay, we'll get into that. Game 1 yesterday, Penguins winning 3-2. As a result, they hold the series 1-0 at this point in time. First appearance for the Sharks. Now, as far as those boys are concerned, what are we... D, my main guy, my favorite guy, NHL guy, what are we looking forward to in this series?
I'm hoping San Jose finally got over the hump, getting the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in their history. Hope they can beat Pittsburgh, but I just think the Penguins are just going to be too much for them. And it started in Game 1. They was able to overcome San Jose, come back to tie the game up, and they just blew it at the end. But San Jose's best bet is to play fast. If they play fast, they'll have a shot.
Byron?
San Jose's strength is that power play. They went 1 for 2. Penguins are actually 0 for 3. But quick note, Sharks are 5-1 following a loss during the postseason. So we'll see if they can steal a game in Pittsburgh and take it back to San Jose.
And Byron's point, too, the power play kills Pittsburgh's at their best at. So,
not to be outdone, Tavon, you're still with us, right?
Oh yeah, I'm here, chill. I'm listening.
You're not going anywhere, okay?
Oh, no.
We got somebody else. You're going to eventually become family. This is your first time.
I like family. We are. Family.
You know
We are family.
No, hey. That song is blasphemous here in Baltimore. You're not saying that.
You know, you getting your first stripes.
Right.
But we got somebody on the line that's earned his stripes as far as the Flex Zone is concerned. Rafael Esparza. Hello. You're not a stranger to us. How you doing?
Good. When can I be in a family? This guy comes in, he's in a family already.
But see, that's what happens when you come in the studio.
The perk.
Oh, no.
You gotta come in. Ralph, you gotta get out here, man.
Bang, bang.
You gotta get out here, man.
You got saddle up Pam and come over east, bro, not west.
Come to the city that is Baltimore.
I guess I'm going to have to. The redheaded stepchild getting no love on the air.
You've been with us for a while, man. You've been with us for a while.
I want to take it back for a minute. Before I get your thoughts on this NHL playoff, I want to get your thoughts on, we just previously discussed Baylor. You have any thoughts on that in that scandal? Give me about some quick seconds.
I didn't hear what your question was.
You have any thoughts on the scandal that's in Baylor? Any quick thoughts on that? We just discussed it.
I think the action should have came down a lot sooner than what we're hearing now. I really thought that they were going to go outside the box to get their head coach. I heard rumors that even Mike Singletary could have been a choice to be the head coach. I thought the discipline actions that came down were months too late. This should have happened probably last year during the season. It's a shame that they waited so long to do it, and I guess money talks. They were still playing football, so they couldn't rumble the feathers and the donors right now. But I think the action should have been taken way sooner than what we saw.
All right, NHL, sir. You're on the ticker. Sharks, Penguins. What are you enjoying? What are you waiting to see? what is going to happen.
Well, I'm with those guys. I mean, if you wanted to watch a fast game, you missed the wrong game because everyone was watching the NBA playoffs. But that game one, Sharks-Penguins, was a lot quicker. The tempo was a lot quicker than what we saw in Game 7 of the NBA. I like the way the Sharks played yesterday. Granted, they came out flat in the first period. They went down 2-0 and almost in a blink of an eye. But I like the way they battled back in the second period to even it up. I had the under 5.5, so I thought my bet was down in the dumps going into the third period, but no scoring until late. Penguins come out, win 3-2. But the Sharks have been in this position before that, losing Game 1 in the series. They lost Game 1 in St. Louis 2-1, and then what did the Sharks do? They came back and won 4-0 in St. Louis. So this is not a situation that they haven't been in there. They've been the best road team all year long. Their record 33-13 on the road. Their road team, I think they're going to steal Game 2 and go back to the Shark game all tied up.
What do we make of San Jose in their first time there? And what's the prediction? Who walks away holding the championship?
For me, I think if you're looking to bet the series price of Stanley Cup, they're almost 2-1 right now. So I think betting San Jose at almost 2-1 to win the Stanley Cup is great value because, like you said, if they steal Game 2, they just wiped out the home ice, and now they go back to the Shark tank, even up 1-1. I think San Jose's biggest hurdle was just beating the Kings.
Go back to the Shark tank. I think that's funny. Go ahead.
I think beating the Kings in the first round in the playoffs was their big hurdle, and I think right now they're just in the momentum. If they're able to play fast, I think they can sneak past Pittsburgh and win the Cup. But the only way I think is it could go backwards if Crosby and his crew just start lighting up the scoreboard and they start putting in 4, 5, 6 goals that they can. I don't think San Jose has enough offense to go toe-to-toe with them.
D, Byron, any final predictions?
I want San Jose to win, but I'm feeling Pittsburgh in 6.
Real quick, Bay Area, Saturday night, Stanley Cup game, Sunday night. You have Game 2 of the NBA Finals, right?
Yep, that's true.
There you go. So the Bay Area will be lit.
It'll be hot.
And what will also be a lituation, your word, Byron, is the fact that we'll be back after this break, and we will be discussing what happened in the Bay. Woo! We'll be right back. It's the Flex Zone. Back for your listening pleasure, the Flex Zone, Fox Sports, 1340 AM Hopewell. Your sports how you want it when you need it. I'm not saying this for my health. It's something that you need to know for your own personal health. Anyways, the time has come to bring it on home. Another team that didn't go home and brought it on home. If you happened to watch Game 7 the other night, in dramatic fashion. And the thing about it is you either was going to watch the most epic meltdown in NBA history, or you was either going to watch the most historic and epic comeback in NBA history. You got the best of both worlds, people, and you got what you want. And it was box office. I had popcorn. That series was banging. Anywho, we got to go back a little bit. Before we go to what was Game 7, I know this will be pretty small. And I'm only going from what's on my paper here. Anybody have any thoughts? And it's perfectly fine if there's crickets here and tumbleweed floating around. Anybody have any thoughts on the series that was the Cavs and the Raptors?
I give the Raptors credit for
forcing
the games to 6 game. I give them credit for that.
That's
about it.
The Cincinnati Bengals and the NBA are no longer there anymore. That's what's up.
I give credit to Bismack Biyombo. I mean, this man was a monster on the board.
Shout out to the Congo.
He was. Shout out to the Congo. You know.
No.
Shout out to Dikembe.
Doing his Dikembe impersonations. He did his thing, but you know what happened after that, so I'm not going to speak on that.
Anybody else? Any questions, comments, concerns? Want to throw the dirt on the grave that is Toronto or anything?
I mean, no. I don't throw any dirt on them because I gotta give them at least some type of credit to force 2 games when at least in the first
he wasn't frozen.
In the first 2 rounds, I mean, Cleveland was sweeping everybody, and to force 6 games, I gotta give them some credit.
Tavon?
I say the same thing. I mean, I'm kind of like stuck because I know I want to say that's a good job they did, but I mean, at the end of the day, they still professional athletes. That's what you're supposed
That's
to be.
interesting
anyway.
you say that because I said to the man to my right, Crevante, I said to him, hey, listen, they made it. Yeah. Nobody expected Toronto even been in a spot.
And what
so
I say,
to me, I'm getting there. So to me,
I expected him there.
Listen, I don't care if you got swept the broom 30 times. You made it. And then you got 2. He tells me there's no moral victories in sports.
Same
you
with
agree?
Harrison did the same thing with his son. What did he do? He took that trophy away. We don't get no moral trophy, a participation trophy. That's a participation. You get paid like $50 and $80 million to do what you do every day. So that I can't. I mean, I was happy. I like seeing the crowd so energetic, even though they was about to lose and the crowd still in it. Most arenas, what they do, they start walking out, man.
We are the North.
Miami. Oh my gosh, Miami's the worst at that.
I was say Miami don't come on time.
Well, they're a bunch of bandwagon fans, but
we are the North. They enjoyed it in Toronto. They enjoyed the whole process that was that Eastern Conference Finals. First time, baby.
Yeah,
history.
Most fans throw
Vince
their
couldn't
tickets
do
up. I'm
it.
outta here.
Vince couldn't do it.
Mighty Mouse couldn't do it.
Right.
But shout out to
Chris
my friends in Toronto. I'll be up there soon. Keep going. Basketball's on the map. Shout out to my boy Drake. I'm coming home, baby.
Right.
Coming home.
And DeRozan should not leave. He should stay with Lowry, second best backcourt in the NBA. They're one piece away.
Hold on. Byron, you from Toronto?
No, I have good friends out there.
Caravana?
With all his lights.
Yeah, you know.
The Caravana?
Yeah, so
hey, look,
I might be making a trip soon.
Hey, me too, baby. I got.
It might be. Okay,
I heard about that too.
About to get my
Besides
passport.
seeing that big thing, the needle, whatever the heck it's called. What is there to do in Toronto?
Oh, there's a lot.
Do they even have a summer?
Oh my God!
There's a lot to do in
You
Toronto.
be respectful,
I
man.
don't think so. I'm sure Toronto. I'm sure there's things to do in Toronto.
Lit.
That's all I'm gonna say. Get your passport. Now we can keep
No.
moving.
They call it the 6 for a reason, okay? There's a reason why they call it the 6.
Correct?
With his woes.
Okay.
Just get you a passport and come with
There
us.
you go.
Raphael, you still on here? Any thoughts on the series that was Cavs and Raptors?
The city of Toronto is a crazy city. Nightlife is banging there.
Thank you.
Highly recommend heading up to Toronto. Food's outstanding, and any place you can get French fries with gravy, cheese, and roast beef on it, I'm all for it.
What?
Well, you know Roger and they
That
like
sounded
that.
like
They like
food
that.
for it.
Who like that?
Y'all like y'all food,
I
right?
don't like that. Are you crazy?
Roast beef?
Roast beef and fries?
Don't knock it until you try.
Come
one.
on, man.
That's
You-
the first one.
You ain't living.
That sounds kind of close to chili
That-
cheese fries. It sounds kind of close to that.
That sounds like early death. That's what that sounds like.
Hey,
early
look,
death.
you know
I'm not
my
with that.
philosophy. Got to die something.
Well, shoot, it's safe
Oh,
in
Lord.
Enjoy it.
Toronto. It's
Oh,
safe in
my
Toronto,
Lord.
right? You can leave your doors open, windows open, so they probably eating healthy too. I mean, every once in a while, they probably get a little beef in there.
I'm sure the 6 has its good and bad parts, so you can't unlock your doors everywhere.
With my woes. Anyways, Raphael, any more? That's it? You just talk about the good food. What about the series, bro?
No, I think we learned a lot in that series. I think if you're Golden State and you want to beat Cleveland again, the person you need to control is J.R. Smith, because both times that Toronto beat Cleveland, J.R. Smith had single-digit points. Tristan Thompson only had single-digit rebounds. You need to control those two guys if Golden State is going to repeat. Let Kyrie Irving score his 26. He's probably not going to score that much. He's the one that's going to be running around trying to guard Stephen Curry. And I think LeBron James will get his points, and I think Kevin Love will get maybe his 10, 15 points and all that. But if you want to win this series, you need to stop J.R. Smith. You need to stop Tristan Thompson from the board, Channing Frye coming off the bench. And Dellavedova, even though we all make fun of him and all that, he's going to be a big key because now he's coming off the bench. He's going to have no pressure. Last year, they were almost begging him to be the second leading scorer in the finals because everybody else was so injured. I think if Cleveland can control the bench and have great, outstanding bench play, watch for Richard Jefferson, who's cashing his Social Security check and a contract.
RJ.
He's going to bring in at least some leadership in there. I think if they can outscore the bench, I think maybe Cleveland can steal this series.
Hey man, LeBron made Dellavedova look like John Stockton. Until he cramped up and couldn't give no more and had to grab the floor, saying, "Take me off, please, take me off."
I'll give you Paxton.
And
Iman.
Where are you? Anyways, before we get into that series that will be, we gotta talk about the series that was out in the Wild Wild West. Ooh. Oh.
The real
Warriors,
deal.
Thunder. Eat your heart out, everybody who said they weren't gonna get. Was that you who said they were gonna get swept? You said Oklahoma City was going to get
But
swept.
I'm also the same guy who said they were going to come back from 3-1.
You
So
can't- I mean-
you can't win them all.
I mean, pick something. Stop picking with your heart. You see what happened
But I
with your
was-
NFL season.
Hey,
Anyways,
We back at it again.
Right,
Championship.
my man.
Thank you.
He's
please, I don't want this partnership to begin at this
but
point in
look,
time.
I mean, come on now. Byron
But-
is looking effortless over there,
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
it's all good.
Thank you.
Please give him something else. I'm due with this. Anywho, Game 7, prime time, Oracle, nighttime East Coast, daytime West
I was
Coast.
right at 6 p.m.
TNT, Kenny the Jet, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal,
Barbecue chicken.
Charles eyes
going
on
fishing.
Charles eyebrows on
Me,
fleek.
my boy Marv. Yes.
I don't know whose eyes weren't on the Bay. Shoot, E40. When you have you
in the
seen him
front.
at a
I
game?
saw that. I
Now
said,
we
is
see
that
him. He's the
E40?
ambassador. He's the new Drake of the West Coast.
If you know a story about him and Biggie, then you would know why he's the king of the West Coast.
I mean, we'll save that for Hip Hop Chronicles. Anyways, I don't know whose eyes was not on this game. You had to be to work in the morning. Who cares? I'm watching this game. You got the best of both worlds, man. You got the most epic comeback. 10 teams, now 10. At first it was 9. 10 teams have only been able, with Golden State doing it, to come back down from 3-1. They're 10 percentile. An historic season, 73-9, a historic postseason. Now you go to the NBA Finals on this note. Oklahoma City, you beat the Spurs. You peaked at the right time. You became the team that everybody knew you already were. And then you melted and reverted back to your old ways when it was too late. You went away from what made you successful. That pick and roll, do you know how bad that pick and roll was killing Golden State? And you went away to the next thing you know, the threes was dropping like dimes. Bombs. Where's Damian Lillard? He should have been rapping during the rest of the game. The rest of that game, because that's what happened. Tavon, take us into Oracle.
I mean, not even Game 7. That whole series just was up and down. Even the go up 3-1, I never doubted, the Warriors, even though I wanted OKC to get this.
I was as torn as you were.
Right. And when that Game 6 happened, I saw it unfold in Game 6. I said, it's done. They don't have no more air. Even though they had the lead for the majority of the Game 7 last night, they ain't have enough.
I think that's what, at one point, that was the strategy. Okay, let them go off now. Yeah. They will blow off some steam. And when they blow off some steam.
Got them.
Let's got them ain't the word.
It happened in Game 6.
It was like that game. Remember that Nintendo game where you used to just shoot the ducks?
Duckman.
Shoot, and it was like
Duck Hunt. No, Duck Hunt. That's
you.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah. You. It was like.
And the little dog was laughing.
Let's look at the bigger picture. Oklahoma City was the better team in this series. They should have won this series. However, mentally, they were not. Your two superstars in Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, when it counted, they were only down by 3. They all were arguing like they were down by 15. Whereas the other guys that were on the other team, they never forgot what they were supposed to be doing, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Let's talk about the maturation process, Tavon. Let's talk about the maturation process that was the difference between the two superstars and the rest of the team and the supporting cast.
You had 2 against 12 to 15. They never stopped. You had Livingston, when Curry was off, and Klay was off. All right, Livingston, you got to step up. Iguodala was still doing his thing. So when you can still just jump right in and play your role, not even just basketball, any sport, and you can do that, my thing is if you don't put the monster down, it's going to be chaotic, and that's what happened. They didn't put that monster down in Game 6. Game 7 came, again, you back in the Bay, where it's bananas out there. Just listen to the TV. It's crazy out there.
I had to turn my volume down.
Right, and regardless if they go down, none of them never flinch. They never argue with each other, just like you said they did. They never fuss. They like, we good. And what happened? Livingston stepped up. The next thing you know, they start getting their niche, and then bam, it went off.
But I wouldn't say it was an epic series or an epic comeback what Golden State did. For a betting point of view, Game 6 at Oklahoma City, normal teams that would be up 3-1, if you look in the past, would be 7, 8-point favorites. Oklahoma City was only a 2-point favorite at home on a closeout game.
Wow.
If that was the other way around, if that was Golden State at home in a closeout series in a game, that number would have been 7, 8, 9, and the public would be all over Golden State to finish it off. So I don't want to. It was a great series and fun to watch, but epic from a 3-1 deficit. It wasn't really epic to me because, like someone said, I was listening. I think we all knew that one of those games, Golden State was just going to click and the series was going to be over. Granted, they were still down 3-1, so I don't want to throw out the word epic or unbelievable because they're
That sounds like you're saying they did it on purpose, sir. They just was
I
waiting.
wouldn't put it past them. All for TV.
I mean, it was epic when the Denver Nuggets won in the playoffs, winning the 8th seed. That was epic. 73-9 team coming off a 3-1 deficit. To me, I just knew that the series wasn't over until the final hats were being placed on the winner's head. So even at 3-1, I had Golden State on Game 6. I took the plus points. I figured they would have a bounce back game. They did, and I knew there was no way that Oklahoma City was going to win Game 7. It didn't matter if there was 5 Kevin Durants on the court. I knew some way, somehow, Golden State was going to win that game, and it proved. I mean, in the second half, they folded. I looked like I was watching Oklahoma City through the whole regular season. They figured they were just chunking up threes like there was no tomorrow. They were pointing at everyone that did something wrong instead of pointing at themselves. It was actually sad to see. In my eyes, I actually felt sorry for like the other players on the bench that had to watch that. I felt sorry for that, and for me, I think that had nothing to do with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. I just think maybe it was just whoever said it. Game 6, that was their NBA Finals. They lost that game. It was done with. Why even show up to Game 7?
Crivante, I have the unfortunate. I'm sorry. Did I miss somebody?
Well, I wanted to ask Ralph, what were the Vegas odds at that point for once they were down 3-1?
Golden State was still the favorite to win the series.
Vegas know what's up. Vegas know what's up.
That's right.
I just had to ask that question. What were the numbers?
I told y'all it wasn't over. I told you.
I think some of them had like maybe -120, -110. They couldn't put it astronomical number because they have so many live tickets live on Golden State, so they didn't want to get middled and lose that cushion that they had just in case it did fall through. But yeah, I was talking to so many race and sportsbook directors offshore and in Vegas, and they all knew, like, hey, this series ain't over until the fourth quarter's double zeros on the scoreboard and Golden State's done. We cannot say that just because Oklahoma City's up 3-1 that Oklahoma City's the best team on the court still. Everyone kind of knew that until that double zero at the end of the fourth quarter was over, Golden State still had a shot, so they really couldn't go crazy. Now, if it was the other way around, Golden State would have been -$5 to win the series. It was almost like even though Oklahoma City still had a 3-1 shot, they still had no chance.
Crivante, we have to do the unjust decision-making here of we just assessed Oklahoma City, but now we have to assess Kevin Durant. Now, prior to this, it's easy to say, oh, he's ready to go. We have to define a place where Kevin Durant can go, where he can get that championship, where we can see him. Everybody, I don't know who does not want to see Kevin Durant get a championship. However, things turn around in Oklahoma City. A lot of people said they did not have a team. Now they found a way to make Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant play together, and guess what they did that they haven't done in years that took them so long to do? They trusted the rest of their teammates. They did that pick and roll too as justly as they could. Adams will be a star in this league. I really enjoy watching him. And Cantor can actually play. Waiters and Roberson, I think you played this, forget the season, you played the series of your life. At this point, they have potential. Billy Donovan at some point was out coaching Steve Kerr. There's a lot of potential here. So I say you stay one more year. You're a package deal. You come with Russell Westbrook. Everybody tries to separate you from your boy. You guys are together. You stay one more year. You work on this. You try to do it 80 games. You make it happen, Captain. If it don't roll, you jump ship, and both of you jump ship at the same time. Will it happen, though?
Financially, for the financial perks, absolutely. KD should stay one more year and then sign that max deal about $200 million. Financial wise, I think he should do it one more time. But the only thing is, I don't think Westbrook is as down as KD is. I think Westbrook is out the door. Like, unless they won the championship this year, I think Westbrook's out the door regardless. However you slice it.
It's funny you say that because at some point, it looked as though you talk about hero ball. They talk about hero ball so much with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Kevin Durant was emotionally, and you could tell in the game, because at one point he went on a 7-0 run by himself to bring them back to 4. So, and that was like with 1 or 2 minutes left in the game. At some point, he put every inch that he had in that game, and Russell Westbrook mentally checked out, and he wanted to be the hero. That's where the jacking of the threes come. And this is a guy that had an out-of-body experience. What was that, in game 4 or 5? And they were trying to tell him how to play, and then he kind of figured it out in the second half. But Russ.
Well, see, I go back to what Tavon was saying. They lost this series in game 6.
They definitely did.
And KD, talk about out-of-body experience. Who was this guy? I didn't recognize Kevin Durant in game 6. He was jacking shots left and right. He looked like Russell Westbrook, the old Russell Westbrook. And that's not a good thing. He was jacking shots he did not need to take. He was not letting, he never settled down. And he basically shot them out the game.
Kevin DeBrick.
For game 6. And, yeah.
What's worse? What's worse? The graphic of seeing him hugging Golden State players and walking off the court, Kevin Durant, or seeing him, my only lasting visual that made me so torn in this series was watching Kevin Durant walk under that tunnel, and the first thing he hugs is his mom when he loses to LeBron James.
The finals, that's devastating. But you knew back then that was a young team who was gonna make it back eventually. That's what we all assumed back then, because at that point we always talked about Kevin Durant being one of the best players. Since that moment, Russell Westbrook has really stepped up, but it's just been the issue has just been with the Thunder. In crunch time, we don't understand why they just can't seem to get it done.
About 15 fourth quarter losses.
And let me just say, back to Cavante's point real quick, Roger. You talk about game 6. I said that I thought they should have closed it out in 5 because I knew the moment it went to 6, then it was going to go to 7.
The Golden State Warriors was going to win just off GP. They was going to win game 5 just off that.
True, but I mean, if you're Oklahoma and you have it won, you might as well do it. We know with Golden State, all they need is that one.
I know
they need a flick, and then next thing you know, that's a flame that's not going to stop.
I get it, but you not going to beat the Warriors twice in their crib in the series.
That's fine and dandy, guys. But the reason why they didn't win is not because they didn't play well. I mean, they played well, but they didn't get everybody involved. They was going back and forth with each other. Russell, you get the ball. Durant, you get the ball. Well, I mean, who else is going to get the ball? Roberson didn't do much of anything. He played defense.
Well, Waiters
didn't do much of anything.
But they had a defeatist. This is my thing. 5 minutes left in the game. It's not over. You have a defeatist attitude down 3.
Well, the Warriors can do that too.
Tavon, you've been in plenty. In plenty NFL huddles, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of parallels in NBA. The time does not run out if the fourth quarter and the time is still ticking, and you're arguing like you're down 20. There's still some football left to play, right? What do you say to your guy? But the thing is about, before you answer that, the thing about them is they think that dysfunctional is functional. They've gone on record saying we argue, we go back and forth. That's just how we do things. But you can't, can you?
No, I mean it shouldn't be that way. And some of it is Donovan is the head coach also, because even after the game when Durant had a terrible game, Billy Donovan went around saying basically that Durant looked terrible. He just no, I don't think he did bad. I think he did. If you look at it, he didn't. Even though he had the turnovers, he still was shooting. He still was doing pretty good. it's like you trying to jab at it, but then you're not trying to jab at it because you still want to. It's kind of like when you have a parent that want to discipline, but they want to be the friend at the same time. It seems like he's trying to be the friend as well as having the head coach title, and that's not going to work when you have. And I don't like the Patriots, but look how Belichick builds that system. Basically where he barely says anything because everything flows into a certain unit. But when you put two guys like that, I don't care if you do put two all-stars on the team together. If you don't have sometimes continuity together where they can roll together like how Golden State did, we know Steph Curry is the man on there. Klay Thompson plays his role. Every time he talk, what do Klay Thompson say? Well, man, I'm just trying to get to where Steph Curry is. This man hit like 17 3-pointers in Game 6. I'm trying to get to where
beat a man on a certain.
But he said, I'm going to play my role. I'm going to play my Robin role, and he can have that. But I know I'm still a valuable component. And like you said, Westbrook is that, man, forget this joint.
And guess what? They was cool, calm, and collected when they did it.
They never flinched.
Right.
Yeah.
They never
That's
flinched.
the thing.
You couldn't hear a pin drop
while
on that
Durant-
other. Even Steve Kerr, if you heard his huddles, he was like, "We've did it before.
Right.
Just keep playing. It'll come. It'll come."
I mean, you talk about Billy Donovan. His press conferences are hilarious to me. I was watching because I was
You gotta find humor in it.
because I'm laughing at it because it felt like he was a used car salesman at one point. I mean, I'm watching the and he.
He didn't come from college. He has to sell himself a lot.
I mean,
And every home.
There's one. It was after the loss of Game 7, and they're asking him directly about Game 7.
Right.
And he refers back to Game 1, and it's like he's taking you through the series. And I'm like, bro, you're not answering the question. Like, answer the
He's
question.
still trying to figure.
directly.
He's a rookie head coach, guys. He's still trying to figure it out.
Playing
Well,
Frogger.
we got some guys that aren't rookies, and we gotta get to Golden State. Byron, I have to ask you. There's been this long list of what Golden State has not done, what they can't do. Let's go back to last year. They didn't play Spurs. They didn't play a lot of teams that they should have, could have, would have, wished played. They should have played. It's not their fault they didn't play them. Some of these teams got wiped out. Spurs in the first round. So that's not their fault. Some say they didn't deserve the chip last year. They even said LeBron didn't have his crew. So that's unfortunate for them too. We fast forward. They come in smoking. They come in smoking with Luke Walton. It's not like Steve Kerr was there. So it's every duck went in a row, right, Tavon? They didn't skip a beat. Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas, everybody wants to talk about perimeter shooting. Excuse me, Gary Payton's no longer in the league. So there is no guarding a perimeter guy like that. Some little kid out there is working on his shot. Why? Because of Steph Curry.
Right.
The league has changed now. Jump shooting team can't win the finals. They're unanimous. So everybody had a lot to say about unanimous MVP, one being LeBron, but you didn't name yourself, bro. And then they go 73-9. They have all these injuries. At some point, it reminds me of this tall tale of what used to be Cam Newton. When everybody was dabbing, everybody was enjoying winning, and then when he lost, the real Cam Newton stood up, Eminem voice. So, but you can't find a flaw in Golden State at all. They're flawless, and they do everything with poise, even in defeat. The gimmick, the glitz, the glamour, people are sick of it. But I think they will be sick a long time because Golden State is not going anywhere, correct?
Now, you want to talk about
Byron?
flaws, mighty quick.
Well, you first, yeah.
Rebounding edge is a flaw for Golden State. And that's the one thing, if you're Cleveland, you got to try to take advantage of. The Thunder is the best rebound team in the league, and they took advantage of it. But in between Game 6 and Game 7, Cantor only played 11 minutes. That really didn't help them any. Adams became a defensive weakness for Stephen Curry.
Oh, boy, that pick and roll. Oh, my
I don't
God.
understand why they not
they
realize that was
exploit.
working.
They
Ibaka thought he could
exploited.
shoot threes and stuff. I mean, just,
Hey, that's why the big man's off the ballot. If Serge, at some point, Serge was at the 3-point line like this, just waiting on the ball. Can you go inside first?
Exactly.
And I think that was more hurt.
Can you at least,
but
can you at least
that's
look
not
like
his game.
Arvidas
That's not
Sabonis
his
a little
game.
bit?
The interior game is going to be something to really focus in on. If I'm LeBron James, I'm going to expose that all day.
Before we get to that series, but Byron.
So LeBron is the head coach. All right, whatever. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyronn Lue said today he is
will
like
be-
a coach.
He will be
Cool.
running it
He
off.
said LeBron, if I was LeBron, I would exploit that. He's playing, whatever.
People are sick of Golden
No, I'm
State,
saying-
Byron. What do we do?
I'll get into why.
I mean, you run out of superlatives for a team like this. You know, they're 4 wins away from the ultimate goal, like Steph Curry said. This team is the stigma of them being just a jump shooting team is a little bit wrong because if you watch them and you watch the game, you see they create a lot of space on the floor, space and ball movement, player movement, a lot of screen, ball movement, you know, players moving without the basketball, which is always taught. And they open up driving lanes, so you have to defend it, 35 feet out. It opens up driving lanes. They get a lot of points in the paint, get to the free throw line. They were out-rebounded, in this series like they stated, but they'll trade 3 for 2s all day. You want to take your 2-pointers? Fine, we'll shoot out threes, contest it, get you in the air. And they were plus 90 in this series, in threes alone, set the record for a 7-game series.
Klay Thompson was 0 for 6 to start Game 7. He hit one. Next thing you know, they
was it.
As a shooter, that's all you need is one to fall, and you'll make the next fall.
And Kenny Smith said the house was on fire. Yeah.
Raphael, we got to go into the next series. We got to discuss what is the rematch. I hope it lives up to the hype. Everybody is expecting this big outcome from the Cavaliers who've played nobody. They say Toronto gave them some go, but it's the same old tale because you didn't expect anybody from the East to give them some go. You expect them to wipe through the playoffs and get to the West and finally get what they've been asking for. Everybody's in attendance this year. Kevin Love's there. Kyrie Irving's there. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's ready to go unless something insurmountable happens. Everybody is there. Will it be enough?
I think it is. I mean, I've said from when the playoffs started, I said the Golden State Warriors were going to be the New England Patriots of going into the Super Bowl undefeated and losing. The Warriors come in, beating the Bulls record, setting 3, and I didn't think they were going to win the championship. So I had to stick with my guns. I think getting the Cleveland Cavaliers almost 2-1 underdogs to win this series is mind-boggling to me. Everyone just thought that Golden State was going to sleepwalk and sweep everyone, but it went the other way around. Cleveland pretty much had the cakewalk to come into the finals. They're well rested. I think the bench play is going to be huge. I think Channing Frye is going to be a big factor, and I think LeBron's just going to have more weapons than last year, which he almost beat Golden State by himself last year. I, for some reason, I think Cleveland wins in either 6 or 7. You can get 5-1 if Cleveland wins in Game 6, or it's 8-1 if they win in Game 7. I think LeBron James brings one to the Lancer this year.
I don't understand to a degree, and let's be real. When you talk about LeBron James, everybody thinks you're hating. There is no haterade because if you watched that last finals for a mere second, you thought he could do it on his own when he said I was the best player. Where you thought. But at the same time, he's not exempt from any opinion. How's the man that gives his opinion every chance he gets exempt from public opinion? And when you say something, you're talking about him. However, I revert back to these games, and you could talk about playoffs and regular season. We go back to Christmas Day. Everybody's waiting for that game. Everybody's there. They did not look like they had enough then. If Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are shooting over a 6'11", Kevin Durant, and he's listed as 6'11". He's not. That's not really what he's listed.
They play with his height all the time.
Serge Ibaka, but he likes being listed smaller, so he's a Serge Ibaka and Adams. What do you think they're gonna do to Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love? That switching at some point. That small ball, that small lineup, big lineup. It didn't matter to a degree. So you're trusting. Okay, so you're going to put LeBron if you're going to put the best player on Steph, or if that's what they choose to do. So you're trusting J.R. Smith or Kyrie Irving with Klay Thompson, and then you forget you got a whole nother guy named Draymond Green. And then, okay, what happens when Harrison Barnes and Spate start shooting? They making buckets. And what happens? Because if like you said, if J.R. Smith can't make a bucket, Iman Shumpert can't make a bucket, Foy can't make a bucket, Jefferson, welcome back to the playoffs. When the last time we saw you in the playoffs? Was it the New Jersey Nets?
Yeah,
I don't understand how this looks even. I'm not saying they're not going to get swept. I'm not going to say it's competitive. Golden State in 6 surprised me in 5. But let me ask you this, though. You talk about everybody being caught up in the past. But let's revert to what was their season. There was no difference between the first half of last year and the first half of this year. The only difference is a coach got fired.
Yep.
Those same questions that we were trying to figure out last year or this year. Okay, so what happens? Okay, devil's advocate. Start with you, Tavon. Devil's advocate. Cleveland loses. 2-7 LeBron. The big three, the experiment.
2 and
tanked.
5.
2 and
2 and 5, yes. But 7 times.
It'll be 7,
he's been
yeah.
in. Yes. So the big three is the experiment kaput. Legacy tarnished. What do you make of this man now? Does he get in trouble if he jumps ship? What do you do with the rest of these guys? What do you do, period, in Cleveland?
I mean, I think LeBron's still going to be etched in history because he done some amazing things. Me personally, I mean, I definitely would love for Cleveland to get one, but it just, to me, is going to be the same way. I think Cleveland might get that first one because the series that Golden State is coming off of. But again, once they start turning that wheel and start clicking those, those sprockets, it just what happens.
Have you ever? Hold on, let me ask you this: have you ever played a team that was so unstoppable? Like you out there going in the huddle, like, dude, I don't know what you want me to do.
Every year I had to play Florida State. So you know what I mean? In the same way, if you chopping, like I said, again, you look at the game 6 again, we go back to that game 6. It, like you said, I felt the same way. Like, Golden State was like, let's go ahead and make this a game. You know what I mean? Because OKC won, and then for you to be able to click a switch like that in the second half of a game 6, and then, like you said, Clay was off, Curry was off, and all of a sudden, bang, 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 Livingston coming, bang, 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 and it just like, oh man, sound the drums is a wrap. I just got a feeling that that's the same thing's going to happen with Cleveland. Now, I'm rooting for Cleveland, but at the same time, I just don't think they have enough oomph.
So down the stretch, they will do what Oklahoma City did, and
they would do what they did
tire
last
it out
year.
and
They do what they did last year. And I love Dellavedova because I like that how he's like a fly. But you
he's
really
a tick.
need.
He's annoying as
you have to use him.
hockey stick.
You need to use him this series because he don't care, so he going to run. But if you don't use him, I don't really see otherwise, other than that game 1 or probably 2 games. If
77% of who wins game 1 always wins the series. This series did not happen this way.
Right.
Let's look forward to game 1. What do we see in game 1? Do we see a tired Golden State team, or you see a team that looks like they never skipped a beat? Do we see a rusty Cleveland, or do we see a team that's just ready to play as well? Who throws the first blows? Who throws the first punches? And does game 1 really matter?
Well, game one always matters because that's whoever sets the tone. But I think Cleveland would throw a good first punch, but for some reason in that Oracle, I hate to say it, that place is magical, man.
It's loud.
I don't know.
You can't think.
It's literally a switch. I don't know if it's the crowd, if it's the bench, but when they turn it on, I think Golden State will take their first punch, and which will probably be their best punch for game 1, that is, and then turn it back up.
Russell Westbrook got on my nerves because you come down the court, you shoot a 3 real fast. And then next thing you know, you swap a 3 for a missed 3 for a 3. You had the potential to go up maybe 15, 20. Now it turns into
I know
a
exactly
5,
what you're talking
6 point
about.
game.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They was up 35-22. And he came down the court and what are you doing?
Move
Very-
the ball.
very quickie.
Y'all have the Warriors right where y'all want them? Y'all up by
on the road.
13.
That's
Laugh at
that.
that.
That's that hero ball.
Laugh
with
at that.
them.
Yeah.
Up by 13 and y'all on the road and you jack a 3? Why?
I like that rivalry, by the way. That's going to be a fun rivalry to
gonna be
watch.
yeah,
So, quickly, you already know my prediction. This is what we do in these sports shows. We make them. Dre, you first.
Warriors in 7.
I agree, Dre. Warriors in 7.
Real quick, the game 1 aspect, everybody's like, Golden State's going to be tired. No, they won't. They're still at home.
Right.
Cleveland, they thought they were playing Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City didn't do Cleveland any favors because if Oklahoma City won, Oklahoma City would have had to travel to Cleveland. So Cleveland just packed their bags last night, going out to Oracle between today and tomorrow. So Golden State has a off day today. Get back at it tomorrow. Having that advantage, I like Golden State in 6.
Oh, we agree? Okay.
7.
No.
And I
mess
thought
up
I
the
had a
phone, so
friend. about your friends, TLC. Go ahead.
I agree with what he said about that, them not being able to stay home, Cleveland. I don't care how professional you are when you got to make that coast to coast. If I was the owner and the coach of Cleveland, I actually would leave tonight. So they have tonight and have tomorrow to adjust. And then have probably an evening practice tomorrow to adjust.
That's crazy you said that. When I went to the West Coast, I was never comfortable sleeping. I could never get myself
you never
together.
Will.
I was waking up. At home is 3. At home is 5 a.m.
Yeah, it's the truth.
At home is 9 a.m.
So I say 6.
6?
Yeah.
D.
Keep me last. Keep me last on this one.
I don't know. You're always
Keep me
the
last.
man that
Oh, man, we know what
centers
Keep me last.
Oh, boy.
Keep me last. Go ahead, Roger. Keep me last.
All right. This is going to come down to matchups. Will Kevin Love be the difference maker for Cleveland?
Man.
Will Shumpert show up? Will J.R. Smith show up? Will his bench get the job done? I have no idea.
J.R. Smith made a half-court shot. I don't forget what he was. It was around shoot-around. And everybody was, and the caption on NBA on TNT was, J.R. Smith is ready. I said, in my head, I'm like, that's probably the only bucket he gonna make. But go ahead. Anywho, Raphael, I know where you're going with this. Cavs, correct though?
I have one quick about Kevin Durant since I wasn't able to say something. But I think he stays in OKC. But watch out for 2 teams that he passes. I heard today that he will not sign with OKC. He can go to Boston and pick some players with him to go with him, or the San Antonio Spurs. So watch for those 2 teams. I think if those 2 teams could steal him away from OKC, he walks. But other than those, besides those 2 teams, I think he's in a 100 jersey next year.
Well, you know, all good things. Oh, yeah, I forgot about you. Come on, bro.
Roger, I am in suspense of what you have to say.
All right. All right. Will those guys show up? Who knows? But hopefully Golden State will pull it out in 7, if not 6. But I'm pulling for the Warriors to win this series. I mean, 73-9. I mean, they broke the record. They came back from 3-1 over the Thunder. So I'm pulling for Steph and them.
Well, you know, last year had to put the G in after game 3. But I'm not going to wait till game 3 this year. No. I guarantee right now on these airwaves on Fox Sports 1340 that the Golden State Warriors will beat Cleveland in 7 games. It's going to be a drag-out fight. We're going to see some shooting from Cleveland, but the difference is going to be the bench of Golden State.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference in this whole thing is that we're done, man. The show is over. Oh, guys, you, America. Who's going to win the finals? Twitter poll. Please go.
The Twitter.
Please go to the Flex Zone 1 and answer that. Who wins your personal NBA Finals? Who is your pick? The show, man. It's over. Raphael, thank you. Tavon, thank you. Tell them how they can reach you and about your foundation.
Definitely go to my website, TavonMasonLoveTheKids.org. We have everything we do on there, including my new children's book I just published back in December. Okay. Going pretty well.
NFL players have hearts.
Yeah, got a nice book out there. We just wrapped up a visit John Hopkins Children's Center. We're going to Ronald McDonald House at the end of the month. Instagram is Mr._T Mason and Tavon Mason Love the Kids. Twitter is TMLTKF and T Mason 18. Facebook, just type the name in. You'll find me.
I got to skip you guys because we got to end the show. I'm sorry. But our tonight's show is executively produced by Andre Melton. Our senior producer is Crevante Hurd. Our host, me, Mikael Ramos. Our coordinating producer is Sophia. Social media coordinator is Bree. Engineer, Ty. I hear you, see you back there, boy. Editor, videographer, photographer, our Periscope guy. He's not here today. Our other intern, Terrell, he's not here. But thank you always next week. MLB will bring that in. We'll figure that out. And like I say every week, I don't care if it rhymes, it's mine. I'm Kevin McKell, and just like we do every week, we gotta go. What are we, Byron? We where?
We gone. Toronto, I'm on my way, baby. Let's go Warriors.
Oh, Lord.
Peace.